Welcome to race 2 of our Club Racing UK race night. We're at Knockhill for this one, and it is the blue Ginetta of MX5 Championship racer Toby Owen who starts from pole position. Jay Daniels, our winner in Cadwell Park earlier this evening, lines up alongside him on the front row in the yellow car. Then is an all green and black second row, with Jason Powell lining up third ahead of Ian Tamkin fourth. And bringing up the rear, Chris Pratt in the red car, who, by his own admission, is not a fan of the Knockhill circuit. So we are waiting for lights out here. They go red, they go off, and it is a great start by all three of the front runners. Jason Powell, I think with the best start of the lot, is going to pull alongside Jay Daniels as they head into the first corner. The two K-Tech Clio Cup races alongside each other. Powell sweeps around the outside of Daniels into second place. But Daniels gets on the inside coming up to the chicane, and he now claims that second place back. So as they come through out of the chicane for the first time, it is Owen, Daniels, Powell, Pratt and Tamkin. So Chris Pratt getting ahead of Ian Tamkin in the background. Bit wide for Owen, well wide for Powell coming through that corner, and I think in the background I see Chris Pratt has already gone off. Yes, so let's just have a look at that. So coming into this very fast blind right-hander, you can see Powell off in front of us, and Pratt just swerves inexplicably back across the track, and oh, that is a big hit into the barrier. So end of lap 1, Owen leads across the line from Daniels, Powell and Tamkin with his lights on as ever in the background. So sweeping down through the first few corners. Owen's made a break for it, but Jay Daniels, we saw how consistent he was from the race at Cadwell Park, and he will be chasing down Toby Owen. Gets a bit leery out of the chicane and takes out the advertising hoarding, I think, yes. That is going to allow Jason Powell to sweep back round the outside. So Powell into second place and immediately runs off the track again. And that's going to allow Daniels back through. And all of this has allowed Toby Owen to build up a quite substantial lead at the end of lap 2. Owen, Daniels, Powell still in the same shot but starting to spread out a bit now. Powell running a bit wide as he comes through that corner. He's staying in touch with Jay Daniels ahead of him, but he's starting to lose ground now as we reach I think a third of the race gone. Very similar lap times from all of these drivers. And wide again, getting a little bit of airtime. He is struggling with that corner, Jason Powell. It's the second time we've seen him off there. So Toby Owen runs a bit wide out of the chicane. He is pushing just as hard as ever. He knows that Daniels behind him. He knows that Daniels is quick, and in fact runs a little bit wide again there. Now he's got to be careful. The track limit penalties at Knockhill are notoriously strict, and the last thing he wants is to be slapped with a time penalty when he's got what is a fairly comfortable lead by online racing standards. So Powell just starting to lose touch with the top two now. He's gone wide there and he's spun it coming down the hill. Can he keep it out the gravel? Yes, he can. Gets going again. And that hasn't caused any damage to the car. It's lost him some time. So Powell now starting to lose touch with those top two. Daniels has closed the gap here, hasn't he? So mid-distance, Jay Daniels is turning up the pressure on Toby Owen. This was very similar to how it was in Cadwell Park, but reversed roles of course. Owen chasing Daniels for much of the race, the gap staying static there for about 5 seconds. Daniels is closing here. He is closing as we near the second half of the race. Jason Powell in a lonely third place. All he can do. So I'm listening to the throttle of the car. He hits the wall, but that to me sounded like there was something not quite right with the throttle. Let's have a listen to some onboard. So heading into the right-hander, have a listen. Yeah. That's a big hit on the wall, and I think that was caused by some issue with the throttle. But look, this is the effect it's had. Ian Tamkin is right on his tail now. And this is the battle for third place. The second half of the race has really come alive now. Jason Powell, with what could be a damaged Ginetta, holds on to third from Ian Tamkin, who smells blood. And Tamkin was our third place finisher at Cadwell Park, but rather inherited that position when the other drivers fell off the track. He is going to be pushing to get the overtake done on track. He's quicker through the chicane than Jason Powell, and this is Powell's bogey corner. He comes into it and he's run wide again, so this is Tamkin's opportunity. He's going to go up into third place, and oh well, Powell has called it a day there. Riding on board with your race leader Toby Owen as we head into the closing laps. And I've seen on the chat, actually, I know this isn't on screen, but Jason Powell, who we saw sort of bizarrely drive into the wall a few laps ago, has posted that the throttle pedal on his sim rig has broken. So there you go. Even in the world of virtual racing, reliability issues are still somewhat of a concern. So the throttle pedal breaking on Powell's rig, which is why he has unfortunately retired from the race. So Ian Tamkin is in third. Only 3 runners once again here at Knockhill. We would love to see more people join this PC lobby for the next Club Racing UK race night. So if you've got PC and you've got Project Cars 2, please do join in with our next races. So heading into the final lap now. All 3 of our remaining competitors are in the same shot, which is fantastic. They're not quite in race order. The car at the front of that queue is Ian Tamkin in third place, who has shown a real improvement from Cadwell Park. He's on the lead lap and would love to remain there. Toby Owen in the blue car leads the race from Jay Daniels, who is really close. He has kept the pressure on all race long. Now we've got 3 very determined drivers here. Tamkin will be determined not to go a lap down. Owen probably not bothered about that. He just wants to make sure he gets to the end and wins this race. And Jay Daniels is really pushing to see if he can overcome that deficit and snatch victory on the final lap. Owen fairly tidy into this long straight now, the back straight. It looks like he's got enough of a gap over Jay Daniels, barring any disaster at the hairpin. Ian Tamkin is going to finish on the lead lap and is going to come home in third place. A bit of a wiggle for Owen as he comes across the line, but he's done enough. Toby Owen will take race victory at Knockhill. So after 20 minutes of racing, it was really close across the line in the end. Toby Owen winning by just under 3 seconds from Jay Daniels. Ian Tamkin third, as he was in Cadwell Park, but showing a much more competitive performance this time around to finish on the lead lap. Jason Powell we unfortunately lost after running strongly in third place earlier on with a throttle issue on his sim rig, which caused his car to retire. And Chris Pratt we lost sadly on the opening lap. So it is 1 win apiece for Daniels and Owen, 2 podiums for Tamkin. Now, we would love to see more than 5 cars, obviously, line up on the grid for the next Club Racing UK race night. So if you do have a PC and Project Cars 2, please do make sure you check out the Club Racing UK page, that is in the comments, and sign up for the next race night.